The iPhone 11 Pro Max is definitely one of the most anticipated phone launches of the year. Apple has launched 3 different versions of the phone this time: the 11, the 11 Pro, and the 11 Pro Max. So I figured I'd durability test the most expensive of the 3. Apple's done some pretty interesting stuff with this new version. There's a lot to check out and take in. Let's get started. Which I don't think was very fair for not making their cushion, and has the same. This year they have the still made of, glass. This year they have the toughest glass ever in a smartphone, which, sounds like a very Apple thing to say. Even if this is the toughest glass of all time, it's still made of, glass. Glass is glass, and glass breaks. If anyone ever comes up with something stronger than glass, they'll definitely be calling it something different. Until then, we see scratches at a level 6 with deeper grooves at a level 7. The screen still definitely won't be scratched up by keys, coins, or razor blades, but it'll also still crack if you drop it. We'll talk more about that in a second. Up here at the top notch we have a metal speaker grill, pretty solid. Won't be falling out on its own. Another fairly substantial improvement this year is with the selfie camera. Of course, numbers aren't everything, but with 4K and slow motion on the front camera, Apple is actually competing with other flagships. I personally won't be posting any flowing hair slofies on Instagram anytime soon, but still, it's definitely a step in the right direction. There is the same plastic edge around the glass screen, which is a good impact layer between the 2 extremely hard materials, glass and stainless steel. The vast majority of smartphones these days are made from aluminum. It's lighter, cheaper, and more malleable than most of the metals, so it's fairly easy and inexpensive to form into a phone. The sound you hear, though, is stainless steel. Steel is a much stronger metal than aluminum. So strong, in fact, it's difficult for my razor blade to get a bite on the metal. Steel is a 5.5 on most scale of hardness, which is about the same level as my razor blade. Aluminum would be a 3 or a 3.5, which makes it much easier to scratch than stainless steel. Apple has taken their perceived premium branding and actually used a premium, no expandable memory card slot, which is good since it leaves me with something to complain about. But there's also something extremely good about this port that not many people have caught. This phone is IP68 water resistant, and you're probably thinking to yourself, what's cool about that? Sure it does to get that IP rating. Is the iPhone, and I think that deserves a thumbs up. Thanos can snap his fingers. It's hard to keep calling it a negative when everyone is doing it to the glass. The glass is actually damaging my razor blade. Like sandpaper on wood. But it's only the rough parts of the glass that's causing the abrasions. The smooth Apple logo does nothing. But let's say you happen to have the copper cooling vapor chamber from a Galaxy Note 10 in your pocket. It looks like that hurts. What if your phone rubbed up against a piece of plastic? Would that hurt the glass? Visually, it looks like the answer is yes, but actually the answer is no. The etched surface of the level 6 glass is microscopically rough and is literally taking tiny chunks off of these softer materials as they brush up against the surface of the glass. But this material transfer dust can easily be brushed off, leaving the phone looking just like new. There might be a tiny bit of residue left over still, but it's good to know that these marks aren't permanent. Coins leave pretty hefty marks on the glass. Quarters leave a residue. Even Abraham Lincoln, from back when presidents were respected, leaves his mark on the glass. The cloudy surface of the glass is slowly wearing away at all my coins, and the dust is being left behind on the surface. This random screw leaves a mark. Clearly see that every level of pick, science. Out of the back glass slab itself, which is very unique, it has a subtle raised lip, about half as thick as a penny. My worry with the raised glass surface is that it adds 4 extra edges around the square for chips or cracks to occur. The good news is the circular cameras inside the square stick up further than the glass itself, so it offers a little protection. A 12 megapixel 2x telephoto camera image, we can tell it's protected by a scratch resistant hybrid material that they've always used for the camera lenses. Still seeing the weird fracture scratch things at levels. Now there's no misleads, since each of them has their own ever does chip, flat skin. Or if you're like me and always rock a case, dbrand's got you covered with the grip case. A lot of you when deciding 1242 by 2688 resolution screen. And that Super Retina XDR OLED withstood the heat from my lighter for a full 60 seconds without leaving a mark. Remember, the invisible oleophobic coating evaporates, and that covering is kind of important, so don't try this at home. But at least now we know that, fire is hot. So you might have noticed that over the course of this video, the heavy marks I made on the back panel with different metal are impressive. Smartphones. And this iPhone 11 Pro Max is no different. There's zero flex. 100% recycled aluminum to build the MacBook Air. Over at Apple, yeah, Android, and that's definitely a good thing for everyone. Twitter. Thanks a ton for watching.